And I think we're live. Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in to the Guitar Hack live stream one-on-one with a special guest. Now, I kept it a mystery, but it's something that I've been requested. Somebody I've been requested to have on in some other chats. I've mentioned him in the past. He is my brother, Dennis, who is also a guitar player. Dennis, why don't you say hello to everybody in the chat?
Hey, all Guitar Hack fans and YouTube, Google Universe, how's it going? Hope everybody's having a good Sunday.
Yeah,
And thanks, Hack, for having me on the show on this on my internet debut.
internet debut. Yeah, my brother is a Google Hangout hack, so he's a little dark. It's a little dark where he is, um, but yeah, we're hopefully this will go okay. I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat. So we got EJ's Guitars. How are you, man? Let's see, EJ's Guitars, GTV. How's it going? R2R3, buddy. How are you? JJ's House of Jams. Party on, man. Soda Pop. How are you? Who else we got? Jason Wade. Excuse me, Jason Wade in the house. Jason Wade is a huge Pink Floyd fan, by the way. Massive.
Cool.
Yeah. Who else we got? Oh, Ben Coombs is in the house. Guitar Girl. How are you? Yeah. Okay, I think we've got everybody in the house. Yeah, Ben is commenting. Nice wall of gear. So just so everybody knows, I've got the chat going here on my phone. My brother is not seeing the chat. If you have questions for Dennis or myself, just so I can catch the questions well, can you please go at Guitar Hack so it'll come up highlighted and then I can spot it right away. So how's it going, Dennis?
So far so good. Thanks. Just relaxing on a Sunday afternoon and hanging out.
Cool.
How's your Sunday been?
I watched my Eagles lose.
Oh,
So
geez, yeah.
So that kind of sucks from the Super Bowl to, like, as you put it, the toilet bowl. So yeah, they're not doing so hot. Not doing so hot. Yeah,
Geez.
I had
Well,
a
it's a
I had a gig yesterday,
yeah. Right on. How'd that go?
and it was the last gig of the year. Well, I'll get into that, but it was in a very small bar up in Markham, and
Yeah.
the bar was like it had a small footprint, but it had a second level, so there was actually two floors.
Oh yeah.
So anybody that wanted to listen to music kind of was in the lower floor. So I just took my Marshall combo and I took my Les Paul with the P90s, and it and of course I hadn't gigged with the combo in a long time, so I go and I set the volume and I start playing, and the volume was going from loud to quiet to loud
Hmm.
to quiet, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, man, this is. So I start,
Wow.
mess. Yeah, what are you gonna do, right? It's not like I can go
Yeah.
grab another one. So
Right.
the amp was just rising and dropping in volume, and I just went. I was playing around. There's like a switch to go from high power to half power. I was messing with that. Anyways, it was the clean channel that was doing it. I was able to get it to work on the crunch channel,
No kidding.
and yeah, and I had the crunch channel with the gain really low, so I had somewhat of a clean sound. But it was what a pain in the ass, you know.
Oh, for sure.
But you
Yeah.
know what? It worked out. It's like the last two gigs of the year, I had technical issues. The week before was my high E string that kept going out, so
Right.
no backup guitar. And what turns out, I think my tuning key on that Les Paul was screwed up, so I had to get it. Actually, I got it getting worked on right now. So
Yeah.
I just want to welcome a
Yeah.
few more people that popped in. American Devil, how are you? Rick Romanelli, nice to see you, man. Brian Cote, how are you, buddy? Brian Cote lives in Alliston.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he's a really good player. Another Les Paul guy. Dusty
Cool.
Wells, how are you? What else we got in the house? David Ennis, how are you, sir? Yeah. So they're asking about the guitars in the background. So you've got
Oh.
quite a lot of weapons up there. Does
Yeah, there's a
anybody?
couple on the wall.
Yeah, yeah, one or two. Yeah. So if anybody wants to see one of Dennis's guitars, by all means, uh, just ask which one you'd like to see. He's got a lot of them up there, and I know them all. I think I've played pretty much all of them, haven't I?
Yeah, that's right. I think the only one that's not up there and that you might not have played is this one. I got slightly off camera here. It's this guy. Hopefully everyone can see it. I think I mentioned I picked this one up. It's
Okay, yeah. Is that an American Standard?
yeah, no, it's well, it's got one of those funny names, American Standard Special or something like that.
Okay.
It is made in the States, but the way I think of it is sort of like back in the old days when Fender had the Highway 1 series.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of the latest iteration of that, basically. And I got one of my tellies on the wall is from that same series of Fender guitars. So they've got like, you know, kind of this one has like the older 70s headstock and a humbucker in it. So it's, you know, a little bit weird. And it's Fiesta Red, which is one of my favorite Strat colors.
That's one of
So
those iconic colors, right?
yeah, I just love it, you know.
Guitar
Uh,
Girl is asking which one is your favorite.
oh my goodness. No, I can't really say because one of them will just break a string on me in revenge, I think. Uh,
So you have
it'll just self combust. No, I love them all. They're all it's you know old cliche, just like children, right? You know.
yeah, yeah,
So I really do love them all.
yeah, yeah. Well,
My favorite one is the one that I have in my hands,
at the
basically.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Frank Corcoran, how are you, sir? Thanks for popping in. Okay, so let me I mean, you know, I know the answer to all these questions, but maybe people in the chat may not, you know. So I mean, you know, you're my younger brother, but so I kind of know all this. But so what initially got you started playing, and like what bands or what music or what inspired you to pick up the guitar in the first place?
Uh, well, geez, that's a long story, so I'll try and break it down real quick. But obviously, being a little kid, having an older brother with Kiss and Aerosmith posters and stuff all over his wall, and we'd hang out and listen to music, and you showed me stuff that was cool that you were into, and would get really excited, especially about stuff like Iron Maiden, Aerosmith, Kiss, of course,
Hmm.
stuff that other kids my age weren't necessarily listening to, being like really young like 6 and 7. uh
Yeah,
but I was into it, and then I got a little older, and I think you obviously you're aware, but in our neighborhood there was a couple other kids around that played music too, and were more into guitar based music, and so I had some kids around that could play, and obviously I grew up with you, so I had exposure to a lot of other kinds of music, and access to kind of playing guitar. So sort of when I got around, I don't know, 10 or 11, I remember still really wanted to play guitar, and ended up joining the string orchestra at middle school there. So that was grade 6. So in Canada, like what, 10, 11, or no, maybe 11 or 12 or something like that.
yeah.
And so brought home a giant double bass, and mom and dad were really not happy with that one, with that move. But I really wanted to play guitar or something, or music, because I liked it a lot, and really wanted to play Led Zeppelin, because at that point I was listening to Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix as well. Those two,
Hey, Jeff
and Steve.
Underwood. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey,
I'm going to
oh
interrupt
no
you.
worries,
People popping in. Jeff Underwood just popped in. How are you, man?
no worries.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, so it was Stevie Ray Vaughan as well I got into, and then eventually hit high school. Again, other kids around me were playing guitar, hung out with them. Convinced mom and dad to let me buy a guitar, and so early high school just kind of started taking it a lot more seriously at that point, and kind of went from there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've played consistently, right? You never really stopped.
There was a few years late in high school and early university where I kind of collected dust, but yeah, more or less, pretty much since then, yeah.
Okay, Quentin James just popped in. Paul Lou, How are you, sir? We got 26 people watching right now. Thanks everybody
Cool.
so much for popping in. This is real cool. If anybody popped in late, my special guest is Dennis. He is my younger brother. And he is an avid guitar player, guitar owner, and actually a really good guitar player. Like I've mentioned him in the past, and he can play circles around me. So if you have any technical questions or guitar related questions or gear related questions, I don't think there's a pedal that you haven't owned or played. Never mind guitars.
I've had a bunch of them, but I think
Oh, hey, Johnny
I'm
Bean. Sorry.
I think I'm pretty no worries. That's really cool that people are so many people are joining on. That's cool. I feel
Yeah,
like a celebrity. Wow.
yeah.
but yeah, I've had a few pedals here and there. I've settled on a nice setup right now, but
How many boards have you got going now? You still at two, or you went into three boards now?
I'm just doing a quick count. Sorry. uh, I'm at 4 right now.
Four
Four
boards.
working, yeah, 4 working ones right now.
So EJ's Guitar says, between the two of you, I believe you have more guitars per capita than any other household in Canada.
It is possible.
Yeah. Oh,
I have
American
some other
Devil.
friends.
American Devil is asking if you have a YouTube channel.
No, I do not. I leave all the YouTube celebrity, stuff to my guitar hack brother here.
I wouldn't say YouTube celebrity, man. I'm just here for fun. Jeff Underwood says he has a TS9 but never used it. What do you think about the TS9?
TS9, I think, is a really great pedal that is one of those that it really gooses other pedals and amps with specific settings. Like if you're in a high gain type setting and you want sort of more of a refined, penetrating tone, sort of that mid hump thing that they're known for during leads, and you hit on a tube screamer TS9, I find with a little bit of boost in that mid range hump, you'll get a nice piercing, nice sustaining tone. It compresses it a little bit, so I find them really good for leads. Quite a
I'm just
got some
laughing
good
at one of
comments,
the
eh?
comments here. Soda Pop, he doesn't want me. He says I'm being a fanboy when you're talking. Yes, I'm a huge fan, buddy. Oh, hey, Gussie Wells is taking off. Later, Gussie. Have a great day, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but you're more of a Timmy guy though. Then you switch from the tube screamers to Timmys. Aren't you using more of a Timmy for your lead boost now?
Yeah, I use Timmy quite a bit. I also have a Keeley Red Dirt Overdrive, which is kind of like a tuned up blues driver, sort of tube screamery type thing. So yeah, I really love the Keeley.
Yeah, man. You know what? You've never. Yeah, I gotta try that Keeley. I've never used the Keeley.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
great. They got like some mini versions of it too out now. So
yeah, I know. I tried your Timmy.
yeah,
The Timmy was good, man. That's a great
yeah,
pedal. That is a really good pedal.
it
Yeah,
is. I can't recommend it enough. Paul Cochran pedals, guys, check those out. Don't know where you can get them, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. I liked it better than I really liked the Tumnus too.
Oh yeah,
The Wampler Tumnus. But the problem with the Tumnus is it's really tricky to dial it in. And I like
yep.
stupid simple, right? So that didn't really. And the Timmy is the same thing, but the Timmy pretty much sounds good all the time. It's just it's just a learning curve to get it to blend in with your other effects. At least with me anyway. We got a question actually from Guitar Girl. Do you gig?
Not these days. No. Just looking to get maybe another cover band project going at some point, but these days, no.
Okay. Ben Coombs is asking, what do you use for an amp? You got a few, man.
Yeah. Well, not that many. My main amp is a Sir Badger 35. That's that's a 35 watt head. I also have a H&K Tubemeister 36. And as well, I have a one just for like recording a little. It's a tiny Marshall custom offset amp. It's like a 1 watt basically. It's just like it sounds just like a JTM.
Yeah.
JTM 45, but it's really small,
Fender
low wattage,
Guru.
and
Sorry, Fender
so,
Guru is asking who the special guest is. Fender Guru, this is my younger brother Dennis, who is a fantastic guitar player, and he's got tons of gear and experience, and just wanted to have him on the show because he's a gearhead, and you know, it's very appropriate for for what I do on my channel. Um, yeah, so BV Ninja Paul Cochran, yeah, he's mentioning Paul Cochran, great guy and pedal maker, as is Robert Keeley.
absolutely, yeah.
Do you prefer to play? You play all kinds of stuff, though.
Oh, sorry, I kind of dropped out. What was the question?
Genre? What genre do you play? But you play all kinds of stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I like all kinds of different music, rock, jazz, country stuff, metal. Um, yeah.
Hey, old man Dan. Old man Dan just popped in. EJ's asking if you're a lead or rhythm player. I don't.
Um,
Yeah.
well, I basically I kind of practice both. I mean, both are kind of important to playing music. You know, especially if you're doing a cover band or performing live. So they are both really important skills, and you have to be able to use rhythm when you're in a context with other guitar players, and then you have to be able to also play leads if that's your spot. But then if you're the only guitar player, sometimes you got to do a little bit of both. Guitar
Yeah.
players like Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray.
I.
So
I mean, maybe you're
different
like.
approach.
Yeah, I don't really see a difference. I mean, you know what I mean? Playing guitar is playing guitar. Like I don't see a difference breaking them into, because if you're playing a song, you're playing the song, and 9 times out of 10, there's a lead. Like I don't
That's
really see
true.
a difference. I mean, you spend the bulk of your time playing rhythm, of course, right? But when the lead
Yeah,
comes, you got to be able to take it, right? R2
for
R3
sure.
is asking in the background, is that an Ibanez Destroyer or a Gibson? I know the answer to that.
In the far corner there, that's a Gibson Explorer, the 78 reissue, I think it is. That's a 2016 model that I've modified.
Yeah, you know what's wrong with that guitar though, right?
It's gold hardware.
It's got gold hardware. I hate gold hardware, man. I can't. Yeah, put that. Yeah, switch that to nickel, and it'll be awesome. Absolute Mayhem is in the house. Say Absolute Mayhem Warrior. He's also asking who the guest is. Absolute Mayhem. The guest is my younger brother Dennis, who is a monster guitar player. He's been playing for a long time, longer than I have actually. When you put all the years together, and he's got all kinds of gear and experience. Used to gig a lot. Does a lot of recording. The one I actually put on my channel an instrumental that we did. I don't know. That was like a long time ago now that we do. We haven't done any recording stuff in years, eh?
That's true. It's been a while, yeah.
We should maybe do something.
Yep.
You guys, Jeff Underwood, you guys ever jam together? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have. It's
Yeah,
been a long time. But
yeah, it has.
We actually did two gigs, right? I did two gigs with you.
2.5.
2.5. What was the half?
If you count that other band that we were in where we played that little showcase, that like 10, 15-minute thing.
Oh, yeah, Undercover.
Yeah, where my string blew up on stage. That was an awesome show.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, so, yeah. So for anyone that knows, if you've got a floating bridge and your string breaks, you're toast. And that's what happened in that show. I remember that.
Yeah, lesson learned, guys. Lesson learned.
Yeah. You don't want a floating bridge. Just going through the chat here. Okay, Jeff Underwood, I would love to see a video. Can you be a little more specific, Jeff Underwood? Who takes the leads? Hack? Haha. Well, you know what? If you listen to our, and I mentioned this, that instrumental that we did, I said the pedestrian playing is me. The crazy off the wall nuts shit that's so technical that, that's you. Basically how that goes. EJ's asking, are those SGs on the wall? Yes, they are. You got just the one SG, right?
Yeah, I just have one SG. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can. So you've got PRSs, which is the only guitar that I don't own.
Right.
Not for lack of trying either. I actually the blue one that you've got back there, that's the CE, right?
Yeah,
This
that guitar might be familiar to your viewers. I didn't if didn't you do like a video on that?
I did a video on it. So Dennis lent
Yeah.
me that guitar for a week, and I actually had a store bring one in, and I tried one, and that thing sounded absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was such a great sounding guitar. It was like another level, in terms of
Hmm.
tone. For me, anyway, I loved it, and as great as it sounded, and I even took it to a rehearsal, and it just
Yep.
like I took it to two rehearsals, and both
Right
times
on.
heads turned like, what the hell? Like it just sounded gorgeous, but for some reason, I was unable to bond with that guitar. I
Yep.
just SGs, I don't know. There's always for me, and nothing against SGs, they're fantastic instruments,
You
but
mean PRS, right?
or sorry, I'm saying SG. I apologize. I mean PRSs. There's
Yeah.
something with PRSs. I mean they're fantastic instruments and all that stuff, but there's always for me there's always something missing. That
Yep.
final sort of box isn't checked, and I haven't bought one.
Yep.
Yeah, BV Ninja Hack needs a gold hardware. No gold hardware for me. Don't like gold hardware.
It's
Guitar
not for
Girl.
everybody.
Guitar Girl is making a comment here. Does Dennis sing, or is he forbidden from the mic too? So I made a comment the last time that I was on that that I'm forbidden to go near a mic, depending on which band I'm in. And when I'm playing with the Hit Disturbers, actually it was funny because Ken's voice gave out on one song, and I actually took the lead vocal.
Wow.
Yeah, because both guys, both the like Ken and Dave, the bass player, he's also a pretty good singer,
Hmm.
and both of them had colds. Like it was the last gig, and that was kind of good, right? So like both the guys' voices gave out, and here I am singing the lead vocal, and I can't sing and play at the same time. So, but surprisingly, the gig went well.
Yeah.
I think we're going, probably going to go back at some point. I don't know if we want to go back. That's another story.
Well, if you
Um,
got invited back, then it was a good gig, right?
yeah, yeah. Okay, Brian Cote, he's in the same boat as me. He goes, yeah, same here. I bought and sold two PRS guitars. I like Les Paul's better. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Les Paul for me is like home, you know.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. Just going back quickly to Guitar Girl's question though about the singing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah.
I do sing backups every once in a while. I'm not forbidden, but it's generally not a good idea for me to sing. I'm even today, I'm a little congested. Pardon me. There's like it's cold season. A lot of folks are getting sick these days. It's going around. So, um, as far as Gibson and PRS, I totally agree. I like basically the first super nice guitar that I got was a Les Paul Studio because I wanted Les Pauls. I was a big Jimmy Page guy, and Guitar Hack here helped me. We went to a store at the time to find a used one, and it had like an EMG 81 slammed in the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and it was completely overriding the neck. But since then, I was just like a Les Paul guy. I was like one of the first guitars, first real nice guitar I owned, and kept it forever until I upgraded it to my first standard. PRSs are super comfortable, but believe me, I went through bazillions of them before I found the ones that I like. And yeah, it really was a question of kind of the feel, the ergonomics. Um, Les
Yeah,
Pauls, that they're comfy too. I've just gotten used to them. And people complain that they're big, blocky, but I just kind of adapted, I guess. Same with Tellys and their slab bodies. They're just as comfortable to me.
yeah. Well, someone's asking, EJ was asking if you consider selling those tellies and getting a Wolfgang. You're not a Wolfgang guy, are you? Have you played Wolfgangs?
uh, I think I played one once. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, up in that store up in North York there.
yeah. Cosmo.
Yeah, yeah.
Cosmo's got
It
yeah.
was. Yeah, I believe they do. Yeah, they're fine guitars.
That's one
Nothing
thing
wrong
we
with
haven't done in a long time. Dennis and I, we do these guitar crawls, and we'll just
it.
take a like a Sunday or a Saturday, and we'll just hit like every guitar store and try every freaking guitar they have. And
Yeah, I mean, those are fun and expensive. My
yeah,
wall.
usually you walk out with one, don't you? Yeah, I remember
Yes.
that. You did twice. You bought a PRS the one time.
Yep.
Or was it just the one time? Maybe it's just the one time you bought one.
Well, no. Well, there was one time I bought one off the rack with you. That was that black SC245. That was that single cut. It was a new old stock, so it was a 2008 model, but nobody had ever, they just had it there.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought that one off the rack, and then the other one I bought there, but not that day, was my white Sir Strat over there. So that one, if you remember,
Well,
we went. I
yeah, you
found it.
played it, you loved it, and then you went back. That's right.
That's
So
right.
you did buy two as a result of the guitar. But yeah, and I remember I tried that one and it sounded great, but because the knobs were popping out, like it didn't work for me because I kept hitting my hand on the knob.
Yep.
That was my problem with that guitar. But it sound actually I used that on one of our recordings. I used that guitar with your wah, and it sounded really cool on one of
Yeah,
the.
it's the Sir Strat's just an incredibly sounding, just amazing full guitar, like just rich guitar, like just sorry, I can't even speak English. It just sounds so good.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, GTV. If I haven't said hello, hello. Uh, he bought Spaceman last night. You know what, GTV? I pre-ordered it and I haven't gotten it yet. Ace Frehley released an album yesterday, or no,
Oh,
Friday.
no kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
I hear I go on Amazon, I pre-order it, thinking I'd get it Friday, and I haven't got it yet. It's all on YouTube now anyway. I've been listening to it, but of course, it's always going to sound better when you have the CD. So I'm hoping to have it on Monday.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and he's all the signature licks are there, eh? So I got to
Both
learn.
of them.
Easy,
Okay. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love Ace.
easy. Got to
I
lay off
like
the
Ace.
Ace.
I love Ace.
So Ben Coombs wants to do a guitar crawl for us. Hey man, if you want to drive 100 miles this way, no problem. Do it, brother. Yeah. Bruce, how you doing, Bruce? So Bruce is in the house. Scott Nickerson, how are you, sir? See if anybody else. I'm way behind on the chat here. Oh, BV Ninja, Guitar Hack. Timmy's are at Sweetwater for 135. Yeah, well, that's US, right? So I don't know. Are they? They're like what? How much are they here? They're close to $200. No?
Thereabouts. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any. I've never seen one in a store.
No? Cosmo doesn't
No,
carry
like
them?
I'm not sure. Yeah. Possibly online. There might be some other places like in Mississauga, maybe.
So Bruce is picking up Frehley's record on Monday or Tuesday.
Right
Right
on.
on, man.
That's cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So like, are you? I mean, earlier mentioning a different style. So like, are you heavily still diving into the jazz? Is that kind of in the country? Is that kind of where you're spending most of your time these days?
Yeah, a little bit. Just working on some boring theory type stuff with some some scales over certain types of chord changes, and just that real boring kind of technical way of going through some basically some jazz theory and some harmony theory at the same time. So
Yeah.
nothing too. It doesn't even sound that great. It's not really working on playing. It's just working more on some theoretical applications. Real boring, non-exciting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just picking up some new covers too for this band that I'm doing. So been working on.
Are you still? Is that the band that you were telling me about before? Like the heavy, not heavy. They're like that, really technical. Is that the one?
No, this would be a different project that I'm getting going with one of my old singer from one of my old cover bands.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so we're
Did
going to
the
be
drummer
picking
play-
up,
the
just some
drummer
generic
play drums?
covers.
The drummer has drums.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
You love drummers.
Yeah, and we've got a spot to hopefully rehearse in. So we're gonna see if this thing could get some legs. But so one of the first covers we picked is Killer's song, "Mr. Brightside,"
Oh yeah,
which is
it's a good tune.
if you listen to the song, it's a good tune, and it's got kind of a cool picking pattern to it,
It's
and
hard to play.
it is. It's a challenge.
It's
So
tricky. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I've been working on lately. Just stuff like that. Just um, riffing around and doing some recording.
Okay. Just sorry, just going through some. Oh, Brian Cote, try to Katana amp. Super impressed. Awesome amp is value. So Brian Cote, one of the guys in my band, has bought the 100-watt Katana head and the matching cab, which I think is a 212, and he's been gigging with that, and it does sound pretty good. And with 100 watts, I mean, for a bar, it'll throw it can easily keep up with my tube. And I mean, that being said, I don't think I've gone beyond two on my 50-watt head. So, but it can definitely
Yeah,
keep up. It can definitely
they're
keep
great
up.
amps.
Yeah. Have you played around with the
Great.
Katana at all?
A little bit, yeah. When I've just been demoing pedals or guitars at stores, usually they'll have a Katana kicking around there, and I think it's pretty good, pretty solid sounding amp, and you got a lot of power there with 100 watts, so you're fine.
Okay, BV Ninja, they're being sold now in store. Have that from Pulse himself. Was a friend just this week. They are not 200 US. No, BV Ninja. I'm in Canada, so 200 Canadian is what I was referring to. Yeah, 200 Canadian. Yeah, everything up here is, I mentioned it many, many times. Our dollar is, usually around 75 cents US. So we get dinged pretty hard on gear, on a pretty consistent, on a consistent, basis, right? So, have you bought anything lately? I mean, I guess what the guitar, the Strat was your last pickup.
Yeah, that's right. The Just trying to think. The only thing I've bought recently was a Boss DM2 Waza Craft, the delay pedal, uh,
Okay.
which um, which is awesome. It's a really cool delay pedal.
What's it
It's
modeled after? Is it like the DoD or not the DoD?
uh,
Sorry, the Boss, the digital delay.
no, so yeah, like not like the DD3 line, like the
That's the one
white
I was talking. Yeah.
ones. Yeah, not those ones. It's actually a reissue of one of their like pedals from like the early days in the 80s. So I think it was
Right.
originally the DM2.
Mm-hmm.
And so now this would be the DM2W, meaning Waza. So it's one of those old school analog, like first generation type or first few years of Boss pedals. And so they've got the Waza line. They've reissued a bunch of those old ones, and so
Yeah.
duplicates that old style delay with sort of a shorter decay and like a shorter repeat. And but now with the new features, it's got a longer delay time, and it just sounds just great and a lot more versatile than the original.
Got a few more people popped in. We got 28 people watching. Hey, Sonia, how are you? Ed Dana, how's it going?
Wow, hey,
BV
I watch Ed
Ninja.
Dana's channel.
You are, yeah? Okay, Dana,
Yeah.
you got a sub in the house. Uh, we got BV Ninja was saying could be worse. You could be in Australia. Yeah, Australia is even worse
Oh,
than Canada for
no
gear.
doubt.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Groovy Ghoulies in the house. Hey, Groovy Ghoulie, how are you, man? Cool, cool. We got 28 people watching. So, what? So as far as you're playing in that, I know you were in a lot of different sort of original bands originally, original bands originally, and then you started doing the cover thing. And you've done a lot of recording too, right?
A little.
Like, yeah. Well, with the recording that, like, what are you using right now for recording purposes at home?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, yeah. In terms of doing lots of recording, a lot of home recording. Right now, I've got a Motu, so Mark of the Unicorn. It's a pre-8, so it's an older interface that I connect to my Mac laptop and just record into GarageBand.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about upgrading to like Logic, but I just really just do demos and stuff like that at home and just mess around really.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You know, got a few mics and stuff like that, but
J
and a
Page 2,
bass.
how are you, sir? J Page 2 just walked in. Good show, Hack. Nice to see you do this. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. So, for people that are tuning in late, my surprise guest is my younger brother who's been playing guitar longer than I have, you know, because I stop and start, and he's been playing continuously, and he's got all kinds of gear, all kinds of knowledge about gear. He's got way more gear and guitars. He got me beat on guitars. He got me beat on pedals. He got me beat on everything. So, yeah, so if anybody has any questions for my brother, just post them in the chat, and just to make sure I see them, put them at Guitar Hack so I can see it highlighted, and then I can catch the question. Yeah, yeah. So we got a lot of, just so you know, Dennis, the people in the chat there, we got everything from, you know, like really advanced players. We've got some intermediate players, and I had a whole discussion on my last thing. What's an intermediate player? What's an advanced player? But, you know, just as generalities, let's just say we've got the whole gamut of players. We got gigging musicians in here. We got recording people. We got some really excellent home players. Everybody's in this chat, and it's a really great group of people, and very, very super supportive. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Very cool, brother. Okay, JPH2 says he's got a brother who's also a great player. Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool, cool. Did you and you've upgraded quite a lot of your guitars too, right? With like with pickups and that. What like you've got some Lindy Fralins and some. You put some Sheptones and some others, right?
That's right. Yeah. In some cases, I've modified guitars, different hardware, pickups in a lot of cases, for sure. Not my favorite thing, but sometimes, not my favorite thing to do, but sometimes it just kind of takes that guitar from like really great to like over the moon.
Yeah, yeah. Is there any guitars that you want to see? I'm just asking the chat. If there's any guitars that you want to see, by all means, we can. He can pull them out and show you. He's got them all behind him. They're all there. He's got like a mini music store in his house.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you guys aren't seeing is sort of the other wall that's got the acoustics, but
Gutsy Wells is saying, I hear Sheptones are very good pickups. Yeah.
I would have to agree. I got my Sheptones on a few guitars, and my playing experience was, I think, from one of your guitars that has them.
Yeah.
Those Jimmy Page ones, I think you have.
I've got the.
So that guitar sounds great.
Yeah, I've got the. They're called Heartbreakers.
Yeah, and those sound amazing. So so I got some, ordered some myself. Just I forget what they're called, the tributes, I think. Just sort of like a PAF type pickup, and I put them in my Explorer, and they're amazing. So I like them so much that I bought another one, just a bridge humbucker, and put it in, believe it or not, in my PRS McCarty 594. Which might shock people because that's like a crazy guitar. Why the hell would you change something like that? But I'm a crazy guy. What can I say?
Well, yeah, but there's different. There's all, like, if you go on the Sheptone website, they got a lot of different pickups, right?
Absolutely.
So which specific Sheptones did you put in?
Yeah, like I said, I can't quite remember. I think they're just like the tributes, I think they're
tributes
called. Yeah, I could be wrong.
And they're not crazy expensive, eh? Like compared to like a Lindy Fralin or something, they're not that expensive.
Fairly reasonable, yeah, fairly reasonable, absolutely.
Well, Dryhack is asking. He has more gear, but did you still pick on him when you were younger? No, I didn't. No, he's a lot younger than me. What, 11 years and a couple months. So by the time you started playing heavy, I was already moved out. So.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, I'm just going through the chat here. Bruce is saying my Strat is one of the guitars that every time you pick it up, well, it feels right. So right. Yeah, Bruce. You know, when you find a
Absolutely.
guitar that just, you know, like you just know it, right? You know what I
Yep.
mean? And it never ceases to amaze me how, and I mean, you've been through this. Well, you've been with me when I've been guitar shopping, right? You
Yep.
know, you can pick up the same model, same year of guitar, and, you know, one will feel off, and then you'll find one that just feels right, you know. And it's
Yep.
I don't know if it's psychological, I don't know what it is, you know, and they're all the same color, so it's not you know, an optical thing, you know. It's just there's always one that kind of talks to you, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, like you were saying with
Absolutely.
the PRSs, right? Like how many PRSs did you go through before you found the one?
Yep. Yeah, it's a big part of buying a guitar, for sure. You got the sound, color, and all that stuff, but really, it's got to feel right. You got to like the neck and all that.
Yeah,
And it's puzzling that you can have two of the exact same guitar,
yeah,
and one will feel right and one won't. It's hard to explain, but it's there. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
yeah. And you know, and I think you're like me. Like the first thing, the most important thing is always the neck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the neck, right? If the neck
Yeah,
doesn't feel good in your hand, if you're fighting it right off the bat, you're gonna fight it forever.
that's true. That's
You know.
true.
We had some. I just missed a comment here that I wanted to mention. Ed Dana says, "I'm in the process of if you don't play it, get rid of it." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done purges before.
yeah. You've
Somehow
done a
the
lot. You've
yeah,
probably. I mean, if you were to ballpark it, how many guitars do you think you've been through?
uh, upwards of 40
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. You've run the gamut, man. You've run the gamut.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
tried not to though. Like it's you learn along the way, right? But yeah, if I'm not playing it, I don't want to keep it around. Really, I'm not really like a collector. Like I don't buy guitars to hoping that they're going to appreciate and value.
No.
And I mean the reason I put them up on the wall is so that once I stop drooling at them, I'll just pick them up and play the darn things, right?
If
So
they're out of the
so that
case, you're gonna pick them up. Right?
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
GTV is
it's
asking
yeah.
if we ever played in a band together. Yes. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. I would have been undercover. Yeah, we were in a band together for was that about a year?
Yeah, about that. Yeah,
Yeah, about a year. And then did a fill in twice with your
yep,
cover band.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. And the first one, and I told this story before, and I'll just mention it again. Um, and the reason I say, even though you're younger, you've been playing longer than I have because you've been playing consistently. But I stopped playing for about 12 years, and you're responsible for me playing again. If you remember, we went to where the hell did we go? We went out to London.
Hmm.
Yeah, was it London? We drove out to
Hmm.
London to look at a guitar because, again, me being a Kiss fan, like, there was a guy selling a Paul Stanley guitar. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So we drive all the way out to London to meet this guy, and the guitar looked like it was sitting in water for like a year. It was
Yeah.
all messed up, screwed up. I don't know where the hell he got this thing, but it was an absolute piece of garbage. The guy completely wasted our time. And then on the way back, we started talking about it, and he's like, "You should play again, play again, play again." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Anyways, and then you called me like a few weeks later, I think it was. I
Yeah.
got a gig in a month. You got to learn, I don't know, 45 songs or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't, like, honestly, I couldn't even play a C chord. Like, that's how I had nothing. I was literally relearning how to play, and I was hitting it like 5 6 hours a day trying to get up to game shape, and I still probably blew chunks, but we got through it anyways.
That
Um,
was good. Oof.
yeah,
Oh.
it went all right. I had to go buy multi effects because I had no effects. I had nothing, right? Yeah. And
Trial by fire.
Trial by Fire. No, it got me back into it. Okay, so people are mentioning Jimmy J Page 2 is mentioning exactly guitars are to play. All mine are out of the case. Yeah, yeah. They if they're out of the case and they're looking at you, you're going to pick them up. Sean Zimmerman,
Yeah.
sir. Sean Zimmerman just popped in. Yeah,
Howdy.
yeah. No, it's good when they're out of the case. It's good when they're out of the case.
Yeah, and I mean, if people are hanging out and non-guitar players, it's like a talking piece, right? They're like, "Wow, you have a lot of guitars,"
Yeah.
and I look at them as pieces of art as well. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and the nice thing is, like they're not behind a glass, case
yeah,
inside the wall. Like they're there for to be grabbed, right?
absolutely.
We got a question, Guitar Hack and Dennis. When you vacation, do you take a guitar? Have you ever done that?
Only like little campfire acoustic type guitars if I'm going like to the cottage or camping. Nothing like never like on a
Yeah,
plane or traveling anywhere.
yeah. Me too. Me too. Yeah. That's it. Like, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you're the same way, but like I like, well, I go to Cuba quite often, and when I'm in Cuba and I see a guy playing a guitar,
Hmm.
and I've come close, man, asking the guy to play it.
Get
You
the
know what I
itch.
mean? And it's
Yeah.
not because I want to like look what I can do. It's none of that. It's just I miss it. I want to play. Can I
Yeah,
just play a
absolutely.
chord? You know what I mean? And,
Makes it feel like home again, right?
yeah, it's like, can I just, like it's like a drug, right? You're away from it, and it's
Yeah.
like, hey man, I need a fix, that kind of thing. You know. Any Boveda pack users for guitars here? Do you do that with your acoustics? Do you like keep them in a case with the humidifier? Do you do anything like that?
As of right now, no, but that is something that I'm doing some research on. Obviously, because of the season changes and stuff, and where I store my stuff. Like I notice every year, even with the electrics next changing and um, different issues with the setups on my acoustics. So I have to find some way of regulating the humidity for both in this room. So I'm looking into it right now.
Mm,
Got to get like a what do they call it? I can't even say the word, but a hydrometer meter. I don't know.
hydrometer.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I know all that
That.
terminology because I smoke
Yeah.
cigars. And the Boveda
Yeah.
packs that he's talking about are these
Yeah.
little packs that just
Yep.
they basically maintain humidity, right? And you can buy
Right.
them at different values, like humidity percentages. So I
Right.
put them in my cigar boxes. So that's the only reason I know that
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, humidity management for sure is. Yeah. So I'm looking into that.
BV Ninja, have you watched? Yeah, you know what? BV Ninja, that interview with Gene Simmons. So I actually had seen it before. I just didn't know when you said it's Mitch. I didn't know who Mitch was. I didn't realize Mitch was the Sweetwater guy. So I had watched that before, but I really appreciate you putting that link on my page, man. That was awesome. But I had seen it before. Yeah, and it was a great interview. Oh, Gussie Wells is saying that those Boveda packs work well.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely look at that. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah. Guitar Girl is asking me and you favorite guitar apps on your phone, tuners, tabs. Do you do any of that? Do you use any phone apps?
Not specific, not guitar specific. No, the only thing if I got like a riff or something or an idea kicking, I'll use the voice memo thing and just
Yeah,
record it so I don't forget it later. That's
yeah, I've
about it.
done it. Well, you remember when I came to your place the last time we were to record and then we didn't do anything with it? And
Yeah.
I had like 10 riffs and okay, listen to these riffs. Which ones do you like?
Yeah,
And I just
it's
played them
handy,
on the
right?
phone. Yeah, because you forget, right? Yeah. The only
Oh yeah.
thing I've put on my phone for app wise is there's a tuner that you can download. So
Yeah, I
like
do
if
have
you
sorry, go ahead.
no, like I mean if you're really stuck, like you don't have a clip on or you're not plugged in, you can, you can use those tuners, right? But it has to be quiet, obviously, right?
Yeah, I do have the Guitar Tuna app on my phone, but I've honestly never used it.
Yeah. but that's about it. Yeah, just those tuners. Just those tuners. Can Dennis tell us about that Explorer on the back wall? I love the look of that one. Do you mind pulling that one down and showing that to the
Yeah,
folks?
if you guys don't mind, give me 1 sec. I'll just
Yeah,
run
yeah,
over and
go
grab
ahead,
it.
man.
Thanks.
I'm just gonna warn you now, J Page 2, that it has gold hardware. I'm just that's an inside joke. I'm not a fan of gold hardware, but he's gonna go grab it for you, buddy. He's gonna go grab it. Yeah, if anybody has any like gear questions, technical questions, like he's very well versed in gear, much more than I am. Okay, it's a question for Jason Wade. Okay, you
There we
got it.
go. Yep.
All right, let me just present. There you go.
Hopefully, I don't drop it.
Okay, and what kind of tuning keys are on that? Are they locked?
These would be mini Grovers. So
Oh,
they
mini Grovers. Okay,
yeah, so they're a little smaller, non-locking.
okay.
They're stock. I haven't changed the tuners on here yet. So, or
Mhm.
well, I don't know unless I can find mini locking Grovers, but I kind of I went for the gold that you're such a fan of.
Yeah,
So, because there's like tons of little gold appointments,
yeah. I see them
like
all.
like even to this is how crazy I am, but like the
The
screws,
screws are gold.
yeah. I switched the knobs. I put well when I changed out the pickups. These are Chevtones. I had gold covers.
Right, right.
Um, yeah. So even the here's how crazy. Yes, the strap button.
Strap locks are gold. Oh
The
man.
screws back are gold. Um,
Wow. All the screws are gold.
yeah. Yeah, they don't, as far as I know, have gold fret wire available, but no kidding. But they very well could, who knows? But yeah, I've done a lot of modifications. This guitar's got Sheptone pickups on it. So they're tappable, and there's also the phase switch in the middle there.
Oh, you get
So
the
this
Peter
guitar,
Green thing?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I could
Uh,
split the pickups, which is cool. And,
Brian's asking what's the neck profile? Is it the 50s or 60s?
this feels like a 60s, I'd say.
Yeah,
Slightly a little wide because of the radius, but
not a
and it's
baseball
kind of
bat.
glossy. Yeah, not a baseball bat. It's kind of glossy, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. That's the only slight beef with the guitar. Just got to play it more, wear it down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah. So
Oh, and the only
JP2 is saying very nice Explorer.
thank you.
GTV is driving and listening. Can I get an MVP award? Okay, you got it, GTV. Guitar Girl asks, do you guys have any off-limit guitars that guests can't touch? That's a good question. Well, I already know what yours is going to be. I mean, I have
um,
access to everything, though. I'm okay. That I know I can touch anything in that room. But is there one like if you had a guy come in and which one? I think I know, but go ahead.
uh, not really.
Not really.
I mean, all depends on yeah. It really depends on the guest.
Okay, say it's a
Uh,
noob who's never picked up a guitar in their life.
I'd give him one of my tellies. Everything else,
So,
I don't know. They'd have
so
to
all of
ask real
them
nice.
except for the tally, the beat up tally, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it kind of depends. Like, I don't know. I don't mind to be honest, but um, yeah, it all depends. Like, if it's here, if someone's just hanging around playing around here, yeah, sure. But I wouldn't want somebody like, hey, can I borrow your guitar for a show? I don't think that'd be happening. So,
No, no. Yeah, I don't know. For me, trying to think rather than which one is off limits, which one would I let them touch is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, to me, that's where I'm stuck with the question, right?
I'm going. Yeah, I think the only one I would let them touch, maybe my telly.
Yeah.
You know.
Like anybody that would even come into my basement that was interested in guitars would probably be halfway hardcore insane like us. So I'd be like, here, go
Yeah,
nuts,
they
right?
know how to. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have a problem if somebody was a player. I wouldn't have a
Yeah,
problem.
exactly.
I just don't want it to be, dropped or mishandled or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
but like
Ben's asking.
mhm.
Sorry, Ben's asking what model. What model are those tellies that you got behind you there?
Oh, so one's like an old school like Highway 1, um, from like mid 90s, I think, or late 90s, I think. And the other one is whatever they call the current version of that. So it's the American Standard, I think it is. Or sorry, American Special Standard. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't. It's a funny. It's one of those in
Oh,
between type,
that's that's the one
similar
that
to
I.
my Fender.
That's the
To
one that I
sorry, to my
played,
Strat.
right? Is
Yeah,
that
that's right.
it's called a special.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the one I played. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I said
So
the
it's sort
guitar
of
was
like
great, but the pickups were crap. But you swapped them out, right?
that's right. Yeah. So I took out whatever was in there, which I'm not sure. But I
Yeah.
put in some Lindy Fralin tribute tees, I think they're
Okay.
called. Again, I always get the names wrong. Sorry. I don't know if those are called tributes too, but
Yeah.
I might have that mixed up with the Shep tones. But yeah, those are Lindy Fralins in there, and they sound amazing.
Yeah. The American specials. I remember when they came out, and I can't remember why they were a little less expensive, and
That's right. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember why, and it might have been just that the pickups were crap. Like when I say
That's
crap, like yeah, I told you right. Like I wanted a butterscotch telly,
right.
and I played one, and I could not for the life of me get it to sound good. I just
Yeah.
the pickups, and I was trying it on familiar gear. I was actually trying it on a. They had my Tube Meister. They had it in the store, and it
Hmm.
just they sound. And then I put it down, and then I picked up what was it, the Elite. That's when the Elite had just come out,
Right.
and you hit a chord on that, and then boom, there's that telly sound. It was instant, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I didn't buy it,
Yep.
right? Because it just
Yeah.
sounded
I
like
mean,
crap. But you know that they have Fender have you heard of the Player Series that Fender put out?
I have. Yeah, I've tried a couple.
Yeah. What do you think
Yeah,
of them?
I think they're pretty cool. They're sort of that hitting a price point that's kind of not too high, like not at that sort of premium ultra high level. They've got like a lot of features that a lot of players do and mod themselves on
Mm.
there. So um, I really like the Jaguar model that they have.
Oh, the Jag. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You had a Jag, didn't you? At one
I
time.
did. I had a Johnny Marr Jag, which one of those guitars that I still kind of miss, but it ended up getting involved with the deal, part of the deal for one of my PRSs there. So,
Yeah, I can't play Jags, man. They just feel
mm,
alien to me. I can't. People love them.
yeah, it's
I can't play a
yeah,
Jag.
it's
It's not for me,
yeah, they
man.
got a certain scale and
The
neck
scale
radius can
throws me
be
right off. Yeah.
yeah.
Dave's Our Guitars is in the house. Hey, Dave R, how are you? Okay, Guitar Girl. She's asking all these probing questions. This is for me and you. If your guitars had feelings, which one of yours would most likely need a therapist?
Oh, that's easy for me.
That's a good question. I'm going to say my telly because it
Yeah,
never sees the light of day. That's unfortunate.
yeah. For me, it would be my telly there. One of the that one, the farthest one there. Most gigs, most adventures for sure.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. I mean, I pick it up and I play
Mm.
it and I rediscover like how great it is. But
Yep.
I don't gig with it. And the reason I don't gig with it is it just doesn't have that oomph, you
Hmm.
know? And I tried it. I played, Southside Johnny's
Right.
on Lakeshore. Anyways, we played that
Yep.
bar, right? And it's like, I was going through, getting reacquainted with my telly. And I'm like, I'm going to take the telly tonight, man. This thing sounds amazing, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then I take it down there. and and I was playing through. I think I was using the Marshall, right, with with my cab, and I had all my pedals and everything kind of dialed in for Marshall. So I'm tweaking, tweaking, tweaking. But you know what? Whenever I hit a lead, I'm like, oh, man,
Right.
the sustain wasn't there, the fatness wasn't there. It just,
Mm-hmm.
but it has its purposes. And I mean, on the clean stuff, it sounded great. It's just whenever I got dirty, it just, I don't know, it just didn't cut it for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So yeah, but going back to the player series, you know what? I played I played I think I played a Telly for sure, and I might have played the
Mm-hmm.
Strat too, but
Yep.
more so the Telly. What I found was I didn't like the neck on them
Right.
because they changed the neck profile from the Mexican, which is what it's basically replacing. It
That's right.
changed,
Yeah.
and they changed the neck profile from that neck to the current neck, and it just by fluke when I went. This is at Cosmo when I went. The Fender rep was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking with the Fender rep, and I was saying to him, he goes, "What do you think?" Because he saw me grabbing it and looking at it. He says, "Well, what do you think of the Player Series?" I says, "You know what?" I says, "You guys hit it out of the park. It's well-priced guitar, everything." I said, "But for me, there's one problem." He goes, "What is it?" He goes, "You guys changed the neck. Why did you change the neck?" I said, "If it had the
Yeah.
Mexican neck on it, I would probably have picked one up." But again, back to the neck. You know,
Yeah. It's crucial. Yeah. It's a very important part of the decision when buying a guitar. Absolutely.
Brian Cote says, "I don't mind Strats, but can't play them because of the volume and opposition. I keep hitting it when playing." Yeah, I have that problem too. The other problem I have sometimes is the middle pickup with the
Yep.
pick. Yeah, it's an adjustment, but again, Strats, sort of what I said about Tully's kind of applies to Strats. They're just gorgeous to play and they sound great,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not fat. And I don't want. And the thing is, I want a Strat to be a Strat. Like if I put a humbucker in the bridge, you're kind of defeating the purpose of having that traditional
That
sound.
specific single coil tone.
Right, right.
Yeah. My
Okay, he's
one.
taking off. See ya, EJ. Oh, question for you, Dennis. What's your all-time favorite solo to play and why? It's a good question, man.
All-time favorite solo to play and why? That is a great question. Not like I've played a lot of solos, but I guess probably like one that just maybe pops up into mind is the Black Crowes tune "Hard to Handle." That's got a pretty fun, bluesy solo to kind of dig in. It's got some different rhythmic elements, a couple different scales in it, and it's really like it's well written. It's perfect for the song. So it's just fun and sort of when you nail it, it just feels real good. And any solo by Billy Duffy from the Cult for sure. Anything, his
Yeah,
solos are just ripping. So those are probably among my favorites to play live.
yeah. I love
Just
Billy Duffy, man.
you just get the good old arm going and just ripping well, and those are just
Yeah,
pure fun and adrenaline to play.
yeah. No, I agree. Like the Cult is one of my favorite bands, and
Yep.
their stuff is really cool to play. Yeah, the that Black Crow song. Unfortunately, if I hear that again, I'm going to shoot myself in the head. I mean, how many times did we play that song, man? Like just
Yeah, it's
it's so overdone and everybody plays it. But yeah, no, the solo is great, but unfortunately, like anything else, overexposure.
yeah, you get saturated after a while, right?
Yeah. So Dave R is mentioning about moving your hand a little bit left hand a little forward when you're playing Strat, so you don't hit the knobs. Guitar Girl's got
Yeah.
another question. Oh, this is a good question too. To both of us, is there any artist you've seen with the guitar that you immediately felt they devalued the guitar? Wow,
Devalued the guitar.
that's
Like
that's.
monetarily or like spiritually?
I guess it just I don't know. Like they it didn't they took the I don't know
The
the
fun
joy
out of it?
fun out of it. I guess I think that's where she's going.
Yeah. Hmm. No, for me personally, no. I honestly can't say that there's anybody that kind of messed me up. I mean, the one that pops up to mind, I can't remember the name of the rapper, Lil Wayne, when I think, plays some guitar solo.
And he can't play at all.
Yeah, I think they just put a guitar on him or something like that. That just to me, it was just like, well, they gave him a guitar, but he didn't really play it very well. So I was just kind of like, huh?
I'm just saying, see you, Ben Coombs. Ben Coombs is taking off. He's got a. Oh, by the way, well, it's in my head. Ben Coombs is doing a live chat 8 o'clock with the Tone King. So if anybody's
Cool.
watching, check that out. I always mention this during the shows. Yeah, I got folks in the chat. Sub to everybody else. Check out my channels below. Check out my Facebook page. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. Please hit the like button. And I've got some great subs listed below. Or if you go to my list of channels, I've got some fantastic channels listed there. Please sub to everybody, support everybody. So yeah, check out Ben Coombs tonight at 8 o'clock for sure. Johnny Bean, Guitar Hack. Billy Duffy was sitting across from me at the Fender backstage area at NAMM a few years ago. I saw him playing one of his guitars. Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah,
Very, very cool.
that is very cool. I've had the pleasure of playing Billy Duffy Gretsch White Falcon that one of my friends owns, and
Yeah,
shout out to my buddy Ian. But man, that guitar is amazing. Billy Duffy's amazing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know what? He's one of those guys that he just makes everything he put in his hand sound good. You know what I mean?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just one of those guys, right? I mean, I love Les Pauls, and there's certain guitar players that just make the Les Paul shine. Like he's definitely one of them.
Yep.
If you watch him live playing a Les Paul, like, oh my God, the tone
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy has is unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Absolute Mayhem. Our live show is Tuesday, not Monday. Yes, I will be doing a live show with Absolute Mayhem on Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'll mention that again later on, but yeah, it's definitely Tuesday. Okay, looks like Sonia's on her way out. Thanks for popping in, Sonia. We got 32 people watching, by the way.
Wow. Cool.
BV Ninja, this question to both of us regarding solos. What about Hotel California, Comfortably Numb, Cliffs of Dover?
I've never had the opportunity to play those solos like in a band context. However, all of those are crazy amazing solos.
Oh, there's a million
Um,
crazy, amazing solos. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Page 2 says Billy is a big Les Paul player. He is amazing. Yeah, he's definitely amazing. Gussie Wells will
For
be
sure.
tuning in on Tuesday. Thank you, Gussie. Yeah, Tuesday at 7 o'clock with Absolute Mayhem. We're going to do, similar to this, we're going to do a one-on-one live stream, and then I will have my regular Thursday show as well. So that's what's coming up next week. Okay, people are asking for your channel. Sonia again. Hey, Guitar Hack, what's your brother's channel so we can follow him too? I don't think she wants to follow you too. So, you have
Yeah.
any content up or anything?
No, not at this time. No, I'm just playing it low key right now in terms of my guitar and music activities. So no, nothing's posted. No YouTube yet. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
you heard it, folks. He is YouTube shy. Let's leave it at that.
There you go. Yeah.
YouTube shy. Yeah, Gussie, Absolute Mayhem drives a cool Camaro. Yes, he does. And I think he's going to feature that Camaro on our live stream on Tuesday. Yeah.
I love Camaros.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's right. Absolute Mayhem. My brother also has a. What's your Camaro? What year is it?
I have a 2010.
Yeah, yeah. What model? I don't know anything about. So just so Absolute
Uh,
Mayhem knows what kind of car, what kind of Camaro have you got? 2010 what?
I it's so to be super technical, it's 22 Camaro, 2010 Camaro 2SS. So it's just like an SS, but it's got the little two beside it. I don't know what it means, but it's awesome.
So Absolute Mayhem. My brother, yeah, and I drove it once, and the hood is about 5 miles long.
They're
So
fine.
yeah, now we got into car talk here. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're off channel, off topic here.
Yeah, we're off topic, but we got some car people in the chat as well. We got 33 people watching right now. We just went up. Somebody else just
Hey,
popped.
cars and guitars go together, I find.
Yeah.
You know.
We got some chicken talk too. We got a few people here that have chickens.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, they got anything goes. Chickens, cars, guitars, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. Anything goes. Yeah, why not?
For chat. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're just in a good place here, right?
Yeah, we're just in a happy place. Quinn James, he's got a Hyundai. Hey man,
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Quinn James, I drive a Mazda, brother. Whatever. It's my years of my years of high-end cars are behind me. Chickens are great for a snack. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, they are, Gussie. I agree. Yeah. Sound like a guitar hack. Sounds like the name of a show. Chickens, cars, and guitars. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's do it.
There's a connection. Yeah, absolutely.
There is a connection. Chickens, cars, and guitars.
Let's call Annie.
Oh, we got a troll. Pepper Borges is in the chat. Who brought the beers?
Oh,
any beer down.
No, it's just.
You want to bring one over?
No.
Quinn James, don't laugh. My car is paid for. Nothing wrong with that, buddy. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Oh, Sonia, I got to get ready. Shane is going live to thank his 100,000 subscribers in the blues. Oh, Shane is coming on. Okay, well, we're going to be wrapping up here soon, I think. So, yeah. So, if there's any... Mark Dillon just popped in. Hey, Mark, how are you? Yeah, so if there's any last questions for... Double B's are in here. Any last questions for Dennis or myself? Pop them in. Shane's on in 15 minutes. Oh, okay. So Shane's on. Cool. We'll be wrapped up by 6. You watch any of these? What YouTube channels are you following? You mentioned Ed Dana. Is there anybody else that you watch?
Oh, there's tons. There's this guitar hack guy. There's a whole bunch.
What's that?
There's a whole bunch. Yeah, there's Ed Dana's channel is great.
Which channel?
So Ed Dana, like we mentioned.
I
like watching his. All the Anderton stuff for gear stuff. Rick Beato is one of my favorites.
Rick Beato.
Yeah, I learned a lot of stuff from him. I like watching Adam Neely's site too. Tone King. Yeah, Tone King's great.
Tone King,
Pixie Licks.
Steve. Well, he's Steve from Boston now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Steve from Boston. Yeah,
you watch it. Yeah, I watch him too.
Yeah, Nick from New York. I think does a lot of gear. I think that's what it's called. There's tons.
You ever watch? Mike Bradley?
Mike Bradley's pretty cool. Yeah.
Robert Baker.
Yeah, Robert Baker's awesome. Phil McKnight is great too.
Phil McKnight, yeah. I think he was like my gateway.
Yeah, for sure.
Was Phil McKnight?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there's tons of really great ones. There's
Bobby.
Why You Suck at...
Hey, sorry. Hey, Bobby, how are you, man? Yeah, there's some really good stuff out there, man. We're talking about in one of the other chats, like, how cool it would have been if had all this stuff, this resources been available when you were first learning how to play. Like, how easy is it for you to pick up a song now compared to, even 15 years ago? Like in a cover.
It's crazy. I mean, uh, like Tab was new at the time,
Yeah,
like in the early '80s. And then when I picked it up, like it was like kind of all you had as far as the easiest way to learn something. Like other than that, it was just sit there and listen to it like a million times
right. But
by
if you're
ear.
a fan and the tab's not available, like what do? You got to get a
Video,
copy of the song. You tape it off the radio, or you watch a video, or yeah, like you said, record a video. And I mean, yeah, it was really, really, really.
uh, I
It
mean,
was,
I was pretty young, but I remember renting a video from the video store, like a VHS, that was like a compilation video of all those REH videos, like the ones with Paul Gilbert and
yeah,
like
yeah.
Vinnie Moore, like all those '80s ones that they put out. So they put out a compilation one that I rented, and I watched it, and the kids in the neighborhood went nuts too. So we dubbed copies of it. So we'd sit at home watching these like super crazy shreddy licks, and like we were pausing and rewinding these VHS tapes to try
Mhm.
and watch their fingers over and over again till the tapes would wear out, and mom and dad would yell at you for breaking the VCR. But that's just
Yeah,
what we had. So
yeah,
rocks and sticks, man, rocks. No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
But nowadays it's really cool. You got all kinds of content. You can speed it up, slow down, pause, rewind. Tabs is another tool.
And you got software too, right? Like if you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, kind of dropped out for a sec. What was that?
So you can even change the keys too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can transpose, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's yeah, like it's so much easier now. Like when I've got to learn a song, which is almost on a weekly basis now.
Yeah.
I just go on YouTube, how to play whatever it is, and
Yep.
usually you'll have to go through like 3 or 4 people before you get the right version. So it's usually okay. This guy's got this bit right. That guy's got that bit right. That guy's got that bit right, and then you kind of put it all together.
Oh,
There's
for sure.
there's the one guy. I don't know if there's a guy. I think it's called Guitar 365. Is the
Hmm.
.com is the channel, or the channel, the YouTube channel is Guitar 365, I believe, and he's really good. Like
Yeah.
he because what he does is like he actually break, like if there's multiple guitar parts, he'll show you how to play each part.
Yeah,
So
I've seen his. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
if
they're
if,
really good.
if the song, if he happens to know the song, then that guy will nail it. Like you want, like if he happens to know it, it's a one stop shop. You don't have to look elsewhere. But a lot of
Yeah.
times if it's not him, it's somebody else. You'll have to look elsewhere, because they'll just play the
That's
wrong
true.
versions of the chords, or the solos, or they won't even teach you the solo, and you got to kind of learn the solo on your own.
Yeah, they might have a slightly different like solo acoustic arrangement or something like that. You'll find, or what I tend to do is look at a bunch of tabs like you, but I also look at like live footage
Yeah,
because
watch
you'll
where their
see.
hands are. His name
Yeah,
is
because
Dave Art just mentioned it. Yeah, Carl Brown is the gentleman's name for that website, Guitar 365, for that
that's
YouTube.
right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Yeah,
yeah, it's helped me out a lot. I mean, I remember like when I wanted to learn the riff to Black Dog, right?
yeah,
I had the record, and I went like the turntable had like a pitch control on it, the one I had,
yeah,
so I'd actually slow it down.
yeah,
And dun 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 dun. And then the
yeah,
thing is, because you're slowing it down, now you're playing it somewhere. You got to find the notes on the neck. So you're just finding the combination, right? But it was
yeah.
painstaking.
Linking it together.
It was
It
painstaking.
was. Yeah. Well, I mean, in those early days, I think you mentioned this to me. It was like, to practice and get good with your ear training is turn on the radio and try different stations, just play along with whatever you find. Because it's kind of what we did for entertainment back then. Like it was just, you could
Yeah,
find all different music and just play along. And it was really good for your ear training. Plus you could pick up songs and
yeah,
along the way.
yeah. I used to do that. I
Mm.
forgot that I used to do that. But now that yeah, I used to practice soloing.
Yeah, same. Yeah, just over anything that you'd hear on the
All right,
radio
yeah, like
randomly.
play a solo over anything. Yeah, yeah, and then find the key and then play something appropriate to that. Yeah, that's I totally forgot I used to do that, but that's a really good way to you know what I do now is I mean, I kind of do the same thing, but now I use backing tracks. And what I try
Yeah,
to do is I try to pick stuff that's not stuff that I would normally play.
right.
So like actually I put a video on like last week. I found like kind of a bluesy, well, actually more of a jazz bluesy kind of thing,
Yep.
and I tried playing a solo over that and just
Yeah.
come up with ideas and stuff, and anything that
Yep.
gets you out of the pentatonic box basically is what I try to do.
Yeah, for sure. And playing like different styles that you're not used to
Yeah,
helps get kind of out of a rut if you're stuck in one.
yeah, yeah. Well, what's cool is when you do that, and then when you go back to what you normally do,
Yeah.
you're gonna approach it differently, right? You
Yeah,
know.
you might be integrating some of that new stuff, some of those new flavors you get.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, that's a good thing to practice too, for sure.
yeah.
Like I do that with loops and stuff all the time at home. It's when
Yeah,
I'm doing boring, practicing scales against chords, just loops different changes and try and practice against those to see how the notes feel against each other. It's a great way to put it in your ear.
yeah. Mark Dillon is making a comment. I watch Mike Gross now to learn certain songs. Yeah, Mike Gross is good, but Mike Gross doesn't play the entire song. So like, if you want to learn a bit of the song, an intro, or a couple of parts, Mark Dillon is great. Or sorry, Mark Dillon. Mike Gross is great. Mark Dillon's making the comment. Yeah, I don't know if you know who Mike Gross is, but he'll play like, here's how the intro to this goes, and here's how it's sort of like a Reader's Digest version. So it
Right,
gives you kind of a starting point, but you still have to, dig a little deeper
right.
to because if you want to play this, like if I'm learning how to play a song, it's for a cover band. I'm not just looking for the riff. You know what I mean? So you
Yeah,
gotta dig a little deeper.
you got to learn the arrangement too, not just the parts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. When everything comes in,
Yep.
yeah. So what? So you're doing this project? Are you doing any recording right now, or like you fooling around?
Uh, just a tiny bit of recording here and there. Some of my friends live, like, and musicians that I've worked with in the past live like in different cities. So obviously, one of the cool things in this new fantastic computer age we live in is that you can transfer files back and forth, and you can create music without actually having to be in the same room or same city or anything as
Mhm.
someone, right? Which uh, for some people, it's like it's been this way for a long time. For me, it's still kind of cool that you can do that sort of thing. So just been trading some files back and forth with some of my musician buddies that live in the States and out east and different areas. One of my buddies is in Europe, so just
Yeah,
layering down some musical ideas, passing files back and forth, and it's about the limit of my recording stuff these days, and
yeah.
it's going well.
You know what? I always enjoy that a lot, though the recording thing. Before I get
It's
into
fun.
that, I want to welcome the Guitar Pit. How are you, man? I didn't see you pop in the chat, but welcome. Um, Bruce is saying that your telly looks just like Bruce has got a natural finish on his
Sweet.
telly, and from a distance it looks like a butterscotch. And I've mentioned that to him, but when he shows it up, you can see like the grain of wood, like it's totally natural. It actually looks really, really sharp, man. Hey,
I
Guitar
love
Pit,
that finish.
I was watching your videos earlier today, man. Yeah, Guitar Pit. There's another channel. Like everybody,
I'll
like
check it out.
later on, you can look at this chat and you can see all the people that are on, and check out their channels, man, because we got some
I
really
will.
fantastic people up here.
It's awesome. Definitely.
Dry Heat's asking how close do you guys? Oh, I think he means live. How close do we live to each other? How close do we live?
Mm,
I would say 45 minutes
yeah,
on a
about
good
that.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
40
45 minutes. I'm in
driving.
Toronto and you're in Burlington,
Yeah,
so that's about 45 minutes. Yeah,
by
no,
car.
like
By car.
by car, not by horse.
Not by helicopter.
Yeah,
Not by
uh,
horse.
yeah. The like the recording thing. Like what I really really liked about it is just making up stuff because it's really the only time
Mhm.
because you can be creative, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can come up with parts and be creative. Like that's something that
absolutely.
I wish I could get back to. Like I was jamming with these guys Um, I haven't, that's kind of finished. But when I
Mm.
started with these guys, they had a whole slew of original songs, like a lot of them, like 30 or something.
Right.
And uh, and what was really cool was, me making up parts. So they would had recordings of them, and I would sit home and not just learn the song, but then make up parts, lead parts, and then I would go back, the next week, and I'd say, okay, here's a part I came up with for this, or a part I came up for that, and everything else, right? And
Yeah.
it was such a rush, you know what I mean? Just to come up with the part, it's like, you're kind of taking the music and you're, kind of bringing it up another level, right? And then for the guy that who wrote the song, he's like, oh wow, that's a great part, like, you know what I mean? It's like, because you're kind of
Yeah.
taking their creation and putting your spin on it, and hopefully, it's spin in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a lot of fun. We've had some fun doing it in the past with a bunch of different tracks, and it's really a lot easier now than it used to be, for sure. And like, I mean, it, if someone can run a YouTube channel, they can probably do some home recording. It's probably just as complicated, I would guess, like, in terms of
Well, you gotta have the
technology and
gear for it. Like, I'm not set up for home recording at all. Like, you gotta have the gear.
yeah,
I don't have any of that stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Good,
Yeah, but
Dave Fleur guitars, Guitar Hack. When you guys go to each other's house, which guitar is off limits for the visitor? Well,
uh,
we answered this question earlier.
yeah,
As far as usually when I get a good guitar, well, all my guitars are good. First of all, now when I get a new guitar, usually I'll ask my brother to play it and tell me what his thoughts are, and
same here.
and same thing when I'll play
Yeah,
the guitar that he's just bought, and I'll tell him my thoughts, and you know, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because if he's bought the guitar, it's good for him and he likes it. You know what I mean? Like, or vice versa, right? Like if I bought a guitar, it doesn't really matter. But I think 9 times out of 10, though, I kind of like what you've got, and I think so far I don't think I've given you any lemons in your mind,
yeah, I
either.
like all your stuff. Yeah,
So
I'd
I
own
get
your stuff,
well, I would own
but you own your stuff.
most of your stuff. Actually,
Yeah,
I was looking at the Vela that you got
yeah,
back there.
yeah.
There was a Vela on Kijiji that was
Hmm.
just the one that I liked. It was black and it had the tortoiseshell pickguard on it. It
Right,
looked really, really sharp, but the guy wants a little too much for it. But
right.
I still love the Vela, man.
Yeah,
It's the neck. It's the
right.
neck. I can't get past the neck, but the sound of it is beautiful. It's a beautiful playing
Yep.
guitar, sounding guitar.
Yeah, I know you're not a big PRS guy, but that's the one guitar you seem to have always sort of
Yeah,
gravitated
yeah.
towards.
I kind of, yeah. Guitar Girl's got to run. Thanks, Guitar Girl. We got
Thanks.
34 people watching.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. The Vela, and I like that C24. The
Hmm.
C24 that's behind Dennis there. If you can see it. Okay, there. Let me just hang on. Let me just present you there. Okay, that's C24 right there. If you can see that guitar, I did a review of that guitar on my channel. If you want to have a look on my channel, I did a review on that. And actually, you know what? I think about 700, 800 people. It might be near 1,000 now, if you can believe that. I actually watched that review.
Mm.
Yeah, Velas are really nice guitars for the price. Yeah, they're a good. They're a good guitar. I mean, PRSs are expensive. They're one of the less expensive, but yeah,
Yeah, for PRS, it's on the
for
more,
PRS.
yeah, more affordable side.
Okay, I'm just going through the chat here, making sure I'm not missing anything.
Just a correction too. That sorry, it's the my Vela that actually has a Lindy Fralin pickup in it. The Telly's got
That's
the Lol.
right.
Yeah.
And I like the old pickups in there. I remember
Yeah.
saying, "Why are you changing these?" Because I liked it. It was good. Yeah, it was. They were good pickups. They were good pickups.
It is. Yeah, I still kept it. So if I ever, which I won't, but if I ever get rid of the guitar, I can put it back in. But there's a Lindy Fralin unbucker in there right now.
Mm.
I'm just the thing I find with the bridge pickups for some of my PRS is, well, at least the 594 and the Vela, they were really good bridge pickups, but I kind of needed a little more thump, like a little more mid-range beef to them. But
You know what I don't
that
see behind you? Your
what's that?
your 339.
Oh, it might just be the angle. It's tucked away in the corner where the Explorer used to be. So you got my SG, and then the 339 is kind of
Oh,
like
that's okay.
way,
The last one on the wall is a 339. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, way back over here.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Dave
I
R's
keep all the
guitar.
Gibsons segregated, so
You don't want the you don't want the mixing.
no,
Dave R's guitars. I just haven't found the one PRS yet. I've not
yeah,
been wowed by one yet. Dave R's guitars. We were just talking about that earlier, man. You know what? The PRS is the only sort of major brand that I don't own. And I don't know. I've tried them. They sound great. Everything is great. They're built great. They're well made. Everything is there, but there's always something missing. I
yeah,
just can't bond with one. And
yep,
it's not, again, it's not a slight towards the guitars. They're great guitars, but there's just something. And I mean, okay, I am a Gibson guy through and through. But you know what? I love my Fenders too. I've got a Music Man. That's a fantastic guitar. So I can, I'll play other guitars, and I own different guitars. But there's just, I don't know.
mm,
I don't know. I would love to own a PRS. He doesn't like Dave Art doesn't like the 8515s, the pickups.
mm,
That what
yeah,
the what do those you don't in the C20 24, is that what you've got in that?
that's right, yeah,
See, I really like those pickups. And what was
yeah. I'm
really
a
nice
fan as
about,
well.
yeah, they're great. And what's really nice is they when you split them, they still sound great. You know what I mean? A lot of pickups when you split them, they either lose, well, they all lose a little bit of volume, except for the standard. My Latchet Les Paul standard, they don't, which is crazy. But most of them
Yeah,
lose volume, and some of them they don't really sound that good. But when I split the pickups on that, I mean, like again, for people to understand what I'm saying, if you watch my demo, you can hear it. Man, those pickups sounded absolutely gorgeous. There was not one position, one pickup position or toggle position that I got a bad tone out of that guitar. Everything sounded
yeah,
beautiful. Everything. My only um, criticism, okay, with that guitar is you can't split the pickups individually. It's they're both
mm,
split or they're both together. That's the only thing.
mm-hmm.
Because the
Yep,
Les Pauls, you can split them individually. That would be my only criticism.
yeah,
Guitar Pit says, I never thought much of PRS until I got my Custom 24, which I love. I sold the Vela because the neck was so big. Yeah, that's the problem I have too, Guitar Pit. The neck is a little big for me, you know, and I've got small hands, and that doesn't help. Like all my guitars are, well, my Les Pauls and all my Gibsons are 60s profile necks for that reason.
yeah.
BB Ninja, I love my SC 10 top 594 and my Silver Sky. Have you tried the
Wow.
Silver Sky?
No, I haven't actually. No, I haven't seen one in a store yet. I'm sure they're around, but
Cosmo has them. I
is that
played
right?
one. I played
And
it.
what'd
I
you think?
played a Silver Sky, man, and it wasn't that. It hadn't been out that long,
Yeah,
and it's a great. I admit it's a great guitar. It is a
yeah,
great guitar. It sounded beautiful, played beautifully. Yeah,
yeah,
nothing wrong with it.
yeah. I'll try one of these days for sure.
Well, if we do a guitar crawl,
Yeah.
that's where you want to go because I went on my own. This freaked me out. This was a few months ago, and everything that I wanted to try, they had it. They had Chapmans in there.
Oh wow.
I played, and not just like the token Chapman. They had a few Chapmans, and they had the Chapman model that I liked, which
Yeah.
is the Tele style, the ML3, I believe it's called.
Hmm.
I played that. It sounded great, but that neck looked like that. Workmanship on that, like the toggle switch was all clunky,
Hmm.
like the slider switch. It was all
Right.
clunky. It just looked like it was abused. But you know what? The pickup sounded fantastic. Really clear, nice, very bell-like.
Yeah.
And so I played some Chapman. The other ones, they didn't do anything for me. The other Chapmans, so
Right.
I'm very disappointed actually. Um,
Yeah.
they had the new EVHs. I played them. The AVHs were nice. I didn't like the neck profiles on the EVHs because they changed the neck profile. See, I'm used to my Ernie Ball, which
Right.
is basically the Van Halen neck, right?
Yep.
And I don't like the new necks. I don't like the EVH necks. They're too rounded for me. So that kind of turned me off of that. And I played again the Fender Player Series. I played some 335s that were like $5,000.
Yeah.
I played
Anything
a whole bunch of
anything jump
guitars.
out at you at all, or what was your favorite?
You know what? And you're gonna understand this. If I walk into a guitar store and I come out of there with a clear conscience that I have nothing here better than what I have at home,
Mm-hmm.
that is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I come out of here and it's like, you know what? I played a Player Series, my Telly's better. I played Les Paul, I got better Les Pauls. I played, my 339, like better than these three. You know, when you
Yeah.
hit that, it's the best feeling in the world. It is. Because you're not spending any money, right? Any more money.
Yeah, it's true. Why dine out
Guitar,
when you can eat at home, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Guitar Pit saying, yeah, that happened. That's how I feel about, to be on. Other than, oh yeah, they're talking about finding the right PRS. Yeah, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not a slight towards the guitar maker. I mean, obviously they make fantastic instruments. It's like I hear people dumping on Les Pauls all the time. Well, you just have to play the right one.
Yeah.
That's all. You just
Yeah,
play
it's
the right one.
yeah, that's it. I've played bazillions of PRSs and waited till I found the right ones that I liked, and that felt right, sounded right, and all that.
Guitar Pit's
So it takes
asking,
time.
yeah, Guitar Pit's asking me a question, and I'll post it to you too. Music Mans are so legit. Have you tried a John Petrucci, a JP6? You know what? I don't think I've played a bad Music Man. I'll be honest. They're all great because their necks are all good. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You
Yep.
know, I tell you, it's ugly as hell, and that's the only reason why I'm not buying it. But the Steve Morse model
Mm-hmm.
is amazing.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
don't like the look of it. I don't like the clear, because the pickguard is like a clear plastic. I don't like the looks of those guitars, but holy shit, are those Steve Morse guitars? Have you ever tried one?
I have actually. Yeah. Yeah.
The tones you can get out of that thing,
It's
like
sick.
that's a
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife, and it sounds amazing. I'm a big fan, more so than the John Petrucci's. Actually, I would say
Really.
that would be my next Ernie Ball guitar would be a Steve Morse.
Yeah, it's a Swiss Army knife of a guitar for sure. I'd have to agree with you. I have not played a bad Ernie Ball guitar.
No.
The necks, for me, my favorite thing is the necks for sure.
Okay, I'm going to counteract what I just said because I just remembered
Yeah.
that I wasn't happy with. I didn't. Actually, it was very disappointing. Was the St. Vincent?
Right.
I played
Right.
St. Vincent. You know what it felt like? It felt like a toy.
Yeah. Didn't get on with it, eh?
It felt like a toy. The body shape.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks great. It's one of those that the eye catches the look because I actually
Yeah.
like the look of that. But when I
That's
went and
pretty cool.
played it, it felt like a toy.
Mm.
It didn't do it for me. BV
Yeah.
Ninja says, find my 594 pickups are clearer or less dark than most of my LPs, but love those too. But I like chunky necks as well. Have a Bernie Marsden custom PRS that has the biggest neck ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played. Have you tried the Bernie Marsden PRS? I haven't
I
seen
did
one.
once. Yeah, I did once. I think it's the an SE model. Yeah, it's big. And yeah, the big necks, not for everybody. The neck on my McCartney 594 is also huge, but I like it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
different necks.
I think you got a little bigger hands than I do, which probably helps.
Yeah, I think you had that guitar in your hand for like 3 seconds. And you're like, neck's too big, and threw it back at me.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be me. And then you put tens on everything, which doesn't help me either.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, Guitar Pit. How about the? He's asking about the Music Man Armada. I've never played one. I haven't. I've never
Yes.
seen one in person. They look.
No, you have. You were with me. We saw
Where
one on a guitar crawl. You saw one on a guitar crawl with me.
did I?
Remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we were.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It was
Yes,
We did.
it
Yeah,
was a
we did. It was really cool.
it
It
was a
was a
great.
big beast. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
The
that is a
pickups
great.
were like super high output,
Yeah,
and
they were very
it was
hot.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, yeah. The only one I guess then. Oh, and you know what else is really good? They got another signature model, and I can't think of the
Mhm.
guy's name. It's the guy from Maroon Five.
Yeah, James something, I think.
Something.
But
Yeah. That
yeah,
you know what though, that guitar is my issue with that guitar. It's a slab of wood with a pickup on it. There's no contours, nothing. But
yeah,
it costs a lot of money.
it does.
It
Yeah.
reminded me it's like a Les Paul Jr.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's slab of wood, but if the thing sounded great and the neck felt really great, but it's like I'm paying all this money, I want a little more. You know what I mean? It was
Something to
way,
it. Yeah.
yeah, it was way overpriced. It was way overpriced.
Yeah. I played one of those as well. It was great. I liked it, but you're right. Kind of pricey.
Okay, BV Ninja
I did
says,
play a sorry, I
sorry,
did play a Majesty too. One of the John Petrucci Majesties. That was a pretty cool guitar.
I haven't tried
Sorry,
them.
sorry, what was the question there that you had?
No, somebody's just saying that the Bernie Marsden is not the SE; it's a custom that's signed by Bernie. That's very cool, man.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. That's awesome.
That's very cool.
Bernie's a great player too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, there's a YouTube clip that just came out. He's sitting on an amp in a guitar store just playing away, and it's like, holy shit! It's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Oh, these guys are fantastic. Yeah. So not all the Music Man or the Ernie Ball guitars are great, but for the most part, they're pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But they're getting it. They're like everything. Even well, shit. My Music Man wasn't cheap, right? It was a
Mm,
custom in the sense that I wanted a specific color, right? And I
right.
waited like 2 or 3 months for that stupid guitar. But
Yeah, I've played an Albert Lee, great guitar.
I've never tried the other.
I've yeah. I just no reason for me not to like them. I just don't own one, right?
It's a funky shape, though, eh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
I like that they're different. They got their own thing going on for sure.
yeah, yeah.
And I think they just re-put out the Stingrays and stuff, like Stingray guitars
See,
again. So they
yeah, I've never tried a Stingray guitar. I mean, When you say Stingray, I think of the bass immediately.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they got guitars too.
yeah. Although the basses are really cool. It is a Stingray bass, right? Am I getting that name wrong?
Yep, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, big iconic famous bass from the '70s.
yeah, yeah,
A lot of players played those.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So I think you ready to wrap this up?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless anybody's got
Let me
any
know if
questions.
you want to go. We can go another few minutes. It's up to you because I said you had to take off.
Yeah, got a movie night, date night tonight, so gotta get all gussied up for
Okay.
that.
All right. All
But
right. No.
thanks for having me on.
Yeah. No worries. Okay. So I just want to mention to everybody, um, to check out at 8 o'clock. Canucks with Guitars, or not? Well, it's Ben Coombs. He's doing a live chat with the Tone Talk at 8 p.m. on his channel. Check that out. I will be going live one-on-one with Absolute Mayhem on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Check that out. And I will also be doing my live stream on Thursday. If you haven't already joined my Facebook or join my Facebook page, the address is below. I've got a bunch of subs below as well. Check them all out. Check out my subs. I got some fantastic sub each other in the chat. Support everybody. Let's keep this community growing. Keep it a happy, positive place. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This was great. We got over 30 people watching at one point. Which was fantastic. You have no idea how much I appreciate everybody coming on. This is absolutely fantastic. It's a lot of fun. So, cheers, everybody. Dennis, just stay on for a second, and we'll see you all on Tuesday. Cheers. Have a great rest of a Sunday, and have a great week. Take care.